Greetings all, it's Max Mir back, and it's been a while, but I've been in the, playing the get a job game and playing the finance game and playing all these other different games. But I've tried to be honest about a lot of this stuff. What I want to talk to about today is that these people who aren't honest and the kind of what their viewpoint is and who they're getting on. This one today with this guy is called Tom Bilyeu. And Tom Bilyeu has all these different people on who are all billionaires, rich millionaires, blah, 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 and all sorts of different things. And all these people, for the most part, are believing in God. And Tom tries to make an argument against God, against people who are the reason that they are successful, these people that come on their show, time after time after time, say, I am successful because God led me to a certain path. Tom Bilyeu is successful because he has all these people who God led them down their path to come on his show, which is a garbage show. It's garbage. I watch it because of the people who are on there. But you can see from him that he's basically a Dungeons and Dragons geek or something. He's not a top 1%er. He's not attractive. He's short. He's very skinny. He doesn't work out. And his opinion is that there's no such thing as God. Now I have to wonder, is that because you're lazy? Well, he's got 4 million subscribers, so he makes probably $500,000 a month on his YouTube. Probably maybe less than that, whatever. But still, it's a very good chunk of change. Just to be somebody who's anti-God, which he really isn't all the time, but he puts it in there every chance he gets. Essentially, how these things go is that he'll have the guest on and allow them to speak about what they're going to talk about. And he'll ask a question or two. But then there is a monologue of him for 5 minutes about God doesn't exist and blah, 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 blah. YouTube loves it. I wonder why. I wonder why. So I'm going to play a bit of this. I'll probably have to stop it. YouTube's been trying to shut me down for a long time, but it ain't going to happen today. So we'll just let it go.
Child of the 80s, where I was supremely proud to be an American. It was awesome, and I could take it for granted. I mean, obviously not everybody in America loves America, but that's how it's...
He's not a child of the 80s. There's no way. He's not old enough to even remember it.
Seemed. I thought all of us, like there was just enough people that were so proud of America that you could take for granted. So I never knowingly ran into anybody that didn't love America as a kid.
You're a liar.
It was an awesome feeling. And as that has waned, I've often said to my employees, like, I'm sad that you guys didn't get to grow up in the 80s when you knew. And look.
You're lying again. He's the CEO of a corporation. When does the CEO of the corporation ever talk to you about, like, well, I'm sad you didn't grow up when I did. You're totally screwed now, guys. And I'm screwing you because I can get away with it. But back in the 80s, that was the time. If only you could have been born then.
true, not true, almost doesn't matter. But you knew America was the greatest country in the world, that the world was going to get better by the day. You knew who the bad guys were, you knew who the good guys were, and you were it. Like, we were exporting our culture everywhere. Everybody wanted to come to America. It was awesome. And to have watched that flag is crazy. Now, for me, the way that the you speak as a warrior for the cause. That's my language, clearly not yours, but like that's how you feel to me. And that isn't my natural voice. And I get
Okay. We have Dungeons and Dragons ugly dude who's never ever going to get a woman. If he does, it's because he's a billionaire. That's the only reason. He's speaking to an Iranian who came to America and built businesses, who actually worked very hard. He's also a Christian now. If you guys don't understand, Iran is a Muslim country. This man here was given a Bible and became a Christian. And now he's a billionaire. This dude over here sucks off them like a vampire. He sucks off people that comes off to it onto his show. Just love it. Give me more money. Where is this guy going to be in 20 years? Poor and homeless. Where is this guy going to be in 20 years? Be retired with his 100 grandchildren. Well, look at the philosophy here.
a lot of shit from people I respect a lot, in the natural way that I talk. You said I was very sweet. I'm actually not trying to be sweet. I'm trying to exist in the world of actually understanding all the pieces that are at play so I can build a strategy that will actually be effective. And so what I see.
Right. But you don't understand God. And that's the most important strategy fact in play, is it not?
Is that you're in a fight over values. And as long as you understand that you're in a fight over values, and then you can either realize you have to
It's not
convert
values.
them religiously, because values are religion. You have to
No. Values are religion. This is a person who does not understand what morals are. But he also understands what morals are. Point blank and fact. You cannot understand what morals are without God. There is no existence, there is no basis, there is no nothing at all for morality without God. Nothing. So we have an atheist who's going to try and say, well, my values are this and my values are that, and it juxtaposes your religious values and that. And the religious guy's going to say, his values have nothing to do with it. Values are subjective. We're talking about morality. We're talking about yes, no, black, white. That's what we're talking about. But he's shifting the subject.
convert them religiously, or you have to defeat them. Now, I won't even get into what that means, but those are your options. And so I'm simply trying to be honest with myself about what the battle really is, because it isn't that they don't understand your position. It's that they think you are wrong and that you are going to ruin lives. And I think that's how you think about them, that it is they are wrong and they're going to ruin lives. And I will say, people with ineffective ideology are wrong and they're going to ruin lives. That's certainly my.
People with ineffective ideology will ruin lives. This guy is a shitbag. He is an absolute piece of shit. I've never met anybody like him in person, but if I did, I would probably punch him in the face. I cannot believe you would say something like that. People with unapproved ideologies, I don't know what to do with them. I would say you're a Satanist, but that's not it. It's just he's confused. No, Christians take that stance too much, in that, oh, well, they're just confused and they're just not saved yet, and oh, they're just not this, and oh, they're just not that. Maybe they don't understand it yet. Maybe he's too young. No, it's point blank. You have this ideology that there is nothing else beside yourself. Right? That's what he's saying. There's nothing else beside myself. I have my own thing, and everybody else is wrong. And then you're wrong. You're wrong. And you're causing worse. You're wrong because I don't believe in it, and you're wrong. The person thinks that he is God. And why wouldn't he? 4 million subscribers, I can just poop out a YouTube video and just, have a happy life. Why wouldn't he think that? We'll keep going.
My stance. So then it just becomes a question of where are we all drawing lines about what's right and what's wrong. But once
with God,
to me, there are only two conflicts you can have.
Where do we draw the lines with what's right and what's wrong? With morality and God. And it doesn't matter whether or not you're Muslim or Christian or Jewish. The same basic principles always apply. Always apply. Always, always, always. It's a coincidence. It was a religion made up by a man somewhere 2,000 years ago, and that doesn't really apply. Okay, let's work on that. Those principles do not apply. He is an atheist, and then he applies those principles because he's trying to judge other religions. Well, you can't do that because you don't have a basis to work from. If you don't have a basis of morality to work from, you cannot judge Islam, and you cannot judge Christianity, and you cannot judge God. You cannot judge anything because you don't have a basis. My basis, it just comes from my heart, or maybe my hoo-ha-ha. In this case, I would say it's his hoo-ha-ha. That's where his judgment comes from. That's not how society works. Everybody has to agree on what the actual basis, our laws and our understanding are. Stealing is wrong. What does this man say? I don't have any basis for understanding. It comes from God. So if I stole all the money that he has, you don't think that he would come after me? And I would say, what basis do you have to even come after me? You're an atheist. It's not wrong for me to take your stuff.
There is much ado about nothing, where you just have different base assumptions. So we believe different things to be true, but we don't even realize it. So I believe the world works this way, you believe the world works that way, and if we could at least
no. I believe the world works this way, and you believe the world works this way. The guy is talking like a total bitch. He's talking like a woman. This is not a man you see on your screen. He's a woman. Where what I feel like the world is what I think the world is. And because I'm getting paid money, I think I'm right because I'm getting validated by clicks and I'm getting validated by money, and I only had to show my butthole on Instagram for like 2 seconds and I'm good. That's not the way the world That's not how it is. That's how you perceive it to be. It's how you perceive it to be in your own world, in your own manifestation of your own stuff. And yes, everybody has their own story to tell. Understandably. But these people take it off into like fantasy land. Whoa, I'm off into fantasy land where I am the god of my own universe. New Age. That's what it is. You can listen to him talk. Rewind the tape. He's the god of his own universe.
Like, oh, wow. If the world really did work that way, then I would understand why you see it that way. Collision of values is there is a God. God is good, God is right, and God gives us these commandments in a book. And if you adhere to
Condescending, condescending, condescending. God is good, God is right, but he gave them the commandments in a book. So because it's in a book, that I'm sure this guy has never ever read a book. He's too young to actually have read a book. Because it's written in a book, it can't be true. It's written in a book, so it's got to be some kind of dogma or some kind of brainwashing or some kind of whatever. It's like, maybe it's just true. Idiots like this, he's like probably 35 years old, don't understand that there's thousands of years of history that point to God existing. You don't even need thousands of years. I'll just tell you one thing. Is like, how in the hell do the atoms like come together? What are the laws of physics? Who created the laws of physics? It can't come together by nothing. It can't come together by nothing. Evolution can't exist. Because for evolution to exist, there would have to be laws of evolution put in place. And who made the laws? Who made the laws that can never be broken forever and ever? I'm so tired of people who think they're smart. I'm so tired of it.
them, you're good, and if you don't adhere to them, you're bad. Now, if I don't have that value, now we've got a problem. Because it's not that you don't understand what I'm saying. Like, I don't believe in God. As far as I can tell, it is just self-evident that there is no God.
There you go.
However,
it's self-evident that there is no God. So now you know that, Big Ear's D&D player idiot here is a moron. Because one of the very first things that a person should tackle when they don't have to work and they don't have to go to school and they don't have to do anything is figure out their purpose in life. And that always comes back to God. This person's person in life is poo-pooing God. Do I think he believes it? Nope. I think he's lying. How do I know? Because he's incredibly successful. So he knows God exists. He knows it. But he says, according to my own ideology, God can't exist. And sorry to say that the person he has on here who's a Christian, who actually is a successful businessman, does not shut him down. I guess he's a guest and he's being very kind.
And this gets where fucking I drive people crazy. But since I know everyone has a God-shaped hole in their heart and that you eject religion at your fucking peril.
Okay. He admits and he knows. He says he knows everyone has a God-shaped hole in their heart. Well, what is he filling it with? Atheists fill it with atheism. But he knows there's a God-shaped hole in everybody's heart. He admits it. So this guy is a fucking liar.
And what we are living through right now is this is what it looks like when you reject religion. It will get filled with something because people have a God-shaped hole in their heart. They are going to have a religion. They are going.
Amazing that he quotes the Bible. Amazing. If you don't have God, it's going to be filled with something. I think Jesus said something like that. Gee, the Bible, written a couple thousand years ago, actually said what this guy is saying, who's an atheist who's trying to turn it around and use it in his favor. Yes, if you don't have God, it will be filled with something. It's called an idol. Idol worship. It's been around forever. Well, let him keep talking. Screw it.
Going to have something that makes them feel like a Messiah? 100%. And the fact, I've heard you talk about this, so I know you know, George Soros literally referred to himself as a god and said that I have
So
a
what?
Messiah complex that I worry sometimes will get out of control. It's like, yeah, that's the human condition. And so we all want to feel like we have done something so grand and so joyful to this world that we feel a bit of that Messiah complex. And
Messiah complex. I think that's interesting. Is it's like if you do something nice, this guy thinks that it's a Messiah complex. That's interesting. So you're looking at a person who has never done anything for anybody ever in his life because he doesn't believe in charity. And he calls it a Messiah complex. These people need to not exist because they're worthless. They have nothing to offer anybody at all. If they ever did anything for somebody else, they consider it a Messiah complex.
I'm team be paranoid, distrust yourself. That's my team. I think people blind themselves and act a fucking fool, and they take everybody down with them. Now, I'm also optimistic, and I know that we're capable of love, and so right now I have kind of a dark hat on because
Right. I'm about done with this. So essentially, Mr. Mad Hatter, who shows up literally talking to billionaires in a T-shirt. Can we get some references to Sam Bankman-Fried, who shows up in shorts and a T-shirt to talk to billionaires, to have them on his show, and then try to go into existential? We're going to talk about God and how stupid. This man is like one of the luckiest men on the planet. Top 0.5%. I just made a whole bunch of money because of whatever business he did. He doesn't even have a business anymore. It's just doing YouTube. What does your business do again? What business do you actually have? What are you actually providing for society? What are you actually doing? Nothing. He's doing nothing. He talks on the internet with billionaires. And of course, every child out there, the millennials and the zoomers, have to throw in some kind of political bullshit in every single thing that they say. And the idea, plainly, especially as coming from someone with like a huge number of money, to say that God doesn't exist is the most retarded thing you can say. If you don't believe God exists, you are retarded. Doesn't mean you can't be successful. Doesn't mean you can't go out and go do wonderful things. but you have to walk around life knowing that you are a total retard. You can quote Dawkins all you want to. Dawkins is not dumb. Dawkins knows God exists. He's just getting paid not to say that. See, you're being mind controlled. People are paid in the scientific world to say God does not exist. And I don't care if you talk about Muhammad or Jesus Christ or what is it, Ganesh, whatever God. The point being is that there has to be a God. If you deny that there is a God, you're denying reality. And if you deny reality, you're going to be taking psychotropic meds, just like 60% of the women over 40, 30% of the men over 40. You're all going to be on psychotropics because you cannot understand the world without God. You can't. And I think that's what I have with that. Welcome me back, and I am sorry for being a little blunt on this on my first time back. I meant to do a live stream. We'll have my handler on, and I'll do a live stream maybe later. But I had to talk about this because it's so blatant, and it's one of those things that obviously this ugly man with big ears who's very short and his 4 million subscribers, this ugly man obviously paid for a whole bunch of YouTube pumping from like India to get his subscriber count, whatever, obviously, because this is dumb. And then he gets, because he has the subscriber base, he gets billionaires on there who are all Christians or Muslims or whatever. And then he talks his crap. He lets them say their piece and does a very good interview for about an hour. And then at the end, I'm going to rant and rave. Well, check out what happened to Disney. As far as I know, their stock is down 75%. So that's where that's going to get you. This is where the war is right here with these people. That's the war. All right. With that, I'm going to be out of here.